Hello, welcome back to Shock's Talks. I'm Shakti, and today I want to talk about the collective unconscious, the way that artists can tap into that and bring back meaningful treasures for all to receive and share in, and also synchronicities and other anomalous thoughts. Last time we talked about Joe McMoneagle and remote viewing. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know really quickly that season 1 is all about UFOs and UAP. So there's a playlist you can click on if you want to do a deep dive into the history of major events. I've read a lot of books and done a lot of research to try to provide you with the most kind of high level overview of a lot of these major events. And in each episode, I'm giving you all kinds of cool resources like links to other YouTubers and also book recommendations and websites, articles, all kinds of cool stuff. Season 2 is what I'm calling the psychic season, and I'm allowing myself to flow a little more freely in this season. So some episodes are going to be more researched and planned out with notes and quotes, and I'll be sharing books and talking about specific major players in remote viewing or other scientific experimentation around psi phenomena. But today I'm just going to talk freely and it'll probably be a short episode. So feel free to jump around and check out different things. I'm still learning how to get the technology working for me. So I apologize for last week having a really horrible audio or lighting conditions. Today I recorded a whole episode and posted it only to find out that it was totally messed up in terms of the audio. So here we go again. Please, aliens, angels, gods, goddesses, larger consciousness system, whatever's out there, whatever hears me, loves me, and has the power to help me, let me record a good episode. Okay, let's go. So I wanted to show you all a couple things. Number one, I mentioned this cool art show that I get to be a part of. I'm showing one painting. I'm going to be showing my Lady Gray painting, and this is happening in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's at Philspace Gallery, and it starts on May 3rd and runs through June 14th. I can't wait to see all the other stuff that's going to be up in this show and hopefully meet some cool and interesting people. And I'm also hoping that some of the people that go to that show are going to come over here and check out this channel. So I'm thinking about possibly doing some recap episodes and maybe even a little about me episode, which is something that a lot of YouTubers do, come to find out. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get into all that. I also have this hope and dream of creating a zine that would be kind of like a companion reader to season 1. So the goal of the zine would be to take all of my notes. I have pages and pages and pages of notes that I put together for these episodes and kind of distill it down into some bullet points, do some cool drawings, maybe get some photos in there, and it would be like a very down and dirty old school style zine. But it just feels like a really fun project. So that's something to keep an eye out for. And if you want me to make that, tell me in the comments. So I made this postcard to give away at this show, and on the front you have a bunch of my different pieces of art from over the years, alien art, and my Instagram, which is Shakti Howith Art, and then on the back I put just like the YouTube channel and my art website. So that's a cool little thing that I made. It's fun to turn art into different things, postcards and stickers and little merch items. So speaking of stickers, I'm hoping to sell some $5 stickers at the show. These are my little holographic Shock's Talks stickers, and I'm really excited about how this came out. It's the same artwork from my painting, and I just turned it into a little graphic. Ooh. And it's just shiny and pretty. And then I also made some vinyl stickers, this little alien babe working on artwork herself, and then one more for Shocks Talks, just the little TV with the Lady Grey inside of the old TV. It's just fun to make this stuff. So that's what I've got coming up. Now, recently I've been rewatching the OA, and have you all seen the OA? It's an incredible work of art. This show that aired on Netflix, I think it got canceled in 2019. They only made, I think, 2 seasons. And it's so sad because it's such a brilliant work of art, but it's a great exploration into the anomalous. And sometimes it feels good to approach these things through the scientific part of our mind, our analytical mind, and to look at the research that's been done and to listen to these intelligent other minds discuss the topic and to really break it down rationally. But at other times, it feels good to just kind of go into the unknown through the portal of art. And art is so powerful in this way because I don't really know exactly what it is even that's going on, but there's something about the process of making art that turns a human into a kind of channel or into a kind of conduit where we're able to connect to a greater reality. And sometimes it's even unconscious, but through that process, we're kind of pulling these ideas from the ocean of all that is back into the physical matter reality. And then it's a matter of willpower and commitment to the idea and the effort that it takes to bring an idea to life. And I really admire that too. So, it's not all about just like floating in the ether and grabbing ideas. It's actually about follow through. And that's why I'm so impressed when a brilliant work of art is able to be crafted in such a way that it hits all the marks. It's beautiful. For the example of the OA, the cinematography is incredible. The acting is incredible. The soundtrack is beautiful. The way that every episode has such a surprising arc and is full of so many potent nuggets that just explode in your mind like pop rocks and kind of send my thoughts just spiraling off in a million different directions. And not only that, but it resonates in such a deep way with my heart and soul. It makes me cry. I'm laughing. I'm scared. I'm excited. I'm thinking about things. I'm rewatching it right now. And every episode, I'm sitting down and I'm just journaling afterward. And it actually sparked me to do this really weird process with myself where I felt like I needed to go back and do a timeline of my own life experience, and especially to kind of track and look at some of the anomalous experiences that I've had. And it was a really fascinating activity where I've been working on it for actually about 3 days now, and I haven't even finished. I've reached 2021, and I'm moving in time towards now, which is 2024. So I started my timeline in 2009 because that was a huge turning point in my life. And I'm going through month by month and searching all of these old emails and, photos, and just kind of trying to put some bullet points down for what was going on in my life month by month through all these years. And why does any of this matter? Well, what I'm trying to say is that this work of art, the OA, had a profound impact on me when it first came out and I first saw it. It was like somebody had seen right into my soul and created something for me that was so meaningful and so special and so important to me that it was actually like this fuel for my life. It was this fuel to continue moving forward and showing up and following my dreams and staying strong and staying brave and courageous. And that's what I love about art. You can't put a price on it. When it's good, it's good. And when it's really good, it's worth more than any money can buy. So, as someone who works in arts and entertainment, and obviously I'm an artist myself, that's my goal. Every time I'm going to create or collaborate with a group, I want to create something that is so meaningful that it's worth so much more than anyone will ever pay for it. That's the goal. And it's the kind of thing that you can't really control because there are so many factors that are out of our control. But I do believe that if your heart is aligned and there's an intent that's powerful and pure, you might be able to increase the probability of having an impact with whatever you do. And that's really what I admire in the arts. But then there's other factors. There's random factors, chaos factors, and there's also just what does anyone need at a given time? We don't even know. So you kind of just have to make it, and it's really a stab in the dark. And so when we're thinking about psychic abilities and psychic powers, sometimes people get really caught up in like, well, remote viewing is all protocol based, so it's evidence based. You can remote view a target and you can look at the evidence to see if you are right and how many details you are able to access from your remote viewing session that are accurate to the actual target. And that's how that works. And then there are other people who think like, well, if I was psychic, I would just want to win the lottery. Or if I was psychic, I would just want to know where my boyfriend was last weekend. Or if I was psychic, I would want to know this, secret code that is going to allow me to hack into whatever, somebody's bank account or something dumb like that. But psychic abilities and powers are not about just getting data in order to do these petty little things. It's actually about expanding our own awareness into the greater awareness so that we can live a more meaningful life and be more connected. And yogis used to say, we are like a drop of water in the ocean. So in Tom Campbell's theory, he would call you and I individuated units of consciousness, and we're existing in the larger consciousness system. So what does that sound like to me? It sounds like a drop of water in the ocean. I'm but a drop, but I'm in this whole ocean. And as soon as I realize I'm in the whole ocean, I am the whole ocean. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. And what good is it to be tapped into that whole ocean? Well, I believe that by loosening the boundaries and borders of our self, we can open to receive the information that is relevant and good to bring back into this little tiny reality that is life in a human body. And what good can that do? Can it make you rich? Can it make you famous? Can it give you everything you ever wanted? I don't think that's what it's about. I really don't think that's what it's about. And that's why I don't think it's very common for people who even have psychic powers and abilities to be out there just winning the lottery all the time or getting everything they want. But what is common is for people who are creative and open-minded and open-hearted to be able to tap into a greater reality and pull back pieces of inspiration and meaningfulness that actually just enrich their lives and enrich the lives of everyone who comes into contact with their creations. I also think that tapping into the larger consciousness system can be a way to tap into our deep inner knowing and help us to access real power in our lives. And real power is not about material success necessarily, although it can translate into that at a certain point. But it's probably more likely to be about how our soul needs to evolve in a given lifetime. And I'm one of those people who 100% believes in reincarnation. It just makes sense to me. And based on everything I've studied, I feel like it's highly probable. Of course, it can't be provable. And what does it matter even if it is real? Well, considering the possibility that you're more than a single life is a great way to expand your notion of self. And what can you do with an expanded notion of self? Well, hopefully, you can operate in this reality in a more loving and intelligent way, therefore, coordinating with others in meaningful ways and bringing about the positive changes that we're all hoping to see in this life and in this world. So, I want to pick a card. This is so funny. I have this mystical Martian oracle, and the creator is Lisa Porter. And it's kind of just a funny, silly little deck. I am someone who collects tarot decks and oracle decks and runes, and grew up with a grandmother who would let me pull tarot cards at her house every once in a while. And she always told me not to focus on picking the card, but just to let go of whatever card it was because it didn't matter anyway. And all that really mattered was how I was going to interpret it, because in her perspective, consulting a card was just a way to shine a mirror or kind of look at my own self through my own lens. It's a way to listen to yourself, and it's a tool that kind of gets you out of your rational thinking and into a more creative thinking. So let's just have some fun and pick a silly alien card and see what it says today. Here's the deck. And I'm not going to worry too much about what we pick because that's what my grandma said to do. Ooh, we got Arcturians. Feeling safe, wisdom keepers, and concern. Let's read the meaning in this little book. Arcturians. The Arcturians are from the Boots constellation, 36.7 light years away. They are a fifth and higher dimensional civilization and are the most advanced ETs in our Milky Way galaxy. Arcturians are non-polarized and anchor in conscious awareness of radiant love and healing compassion. Arcturians find third-dimensional space and time a harsh space to experience. However, they have the capacity to exchange lower third-dimensional frequencies by alchemically transmuting them into higher frequencies for a period of time. Arcturians operate within the advanced violet bandwidth of frequencies, which assists them to remain peaceful and connected to all. Without this loving frequency, it is not possible to enter fifth dimensional portals. They are a gentle, private, and quiet race overall, and are amazing time travelers of the universe. With the finest starships and state-of-the-art crystal-driven technology, they do not use primitive computer-generated technology. They operate and navigate their ships purely through auras and conscious energy. Arcturians vary in size, some tall, others very small. Their skin colors vary from a range of blue tones to green. They have profound telekinesis and no sicknesses at all. Arcturians have extensive wisdom and cosmic knowledge. The Arcturians were historically responsible for assisting the Pleiadians into ascended awareness during their collective consciousness shifts. The crop circles' elaborate sacred geometry designs are usually the work of Arcturian frequency technology. Arcturians choose to terminate their physical life through agreed contracts for the highest development of their advanced species well-being at around the age of 400 Earth years. So, who knows? There's a lot of stuff like this out there. People have their different theories and they seem to have a lot of information, but where is that information coming from? Well, even if it's coming from their imaginations, what can we do with it? What I heard in this card was that this, let's call it an archetype, this character, this archetype is gentle and private, and they are thought to be the most advanced. The most advanced. So what that means to me is that they symbolize something ideal that any of us could hope to reach for in this life. An existence that is pure and good and free of disease and is telepathic and is operating with elegant technology that is based in crystals. I mean, it all sounds pretty nice to me. And on the card here, it says feeling safe is one of the things that they mention. And there's a little alien talking to a human, and there's a little steaming cup of tea or coffee in the background. And that little alien's in kind of like a little bubble. There's flowers out the window. So, I don't know. I guess it kind of reminds me of my highest hopes for encountering any other beings in this reality. If there are aliens that exist in physical matter reality or in an interdimensional way, or even just pure beings of consciousness who have the ability to interact with my human consciousness, I really hope that the way that we get to connect is cozy and safe and calm and peaceful, and that whatever beings I'm encountering are operating from a place of love. And of course, I would hope the same with any humans that I encounter. But as we all know, we can't control everything. So, does that mean that everything is out of our control then? Well, in Tom Campbell's theory, you can use your intent to modify future probabilities. So, when it comes to, let's just say, human encounters, for example, we have a little bit of choice in the matter. We walk around the world, we do our lives, and there are going to be times where we come into contact with people who are not great, who are not nice, who are not wonderful, and who we may not want to be around. And there's some limitations on whether or not we can escape that. And at other times, we have total control and we can easily walk away. Sometimes it's someone that you have to work with or that you have to see on a regular basis for your survival for some reason. And that's kind of the random factor of life, which is why I don't think life is all about getting our way, but rather navigating whatever comes our way and dealing with it in the best way we can. But is it true that we can use our intent to modify future probabilities when it comes to who we encounter and how we interact with them? I do believe we can have a profound impact on that by not only creating a powerful intent, but also taking the steps and actions to back up that intent. So, my one grandma who I was talking about, who I pulled tarot cards with, is on one side of the family. On the other side of the family, I have another grandma, and she would say the phrase, basically you can pray all you want, but you have to put legs on your prayers. And that's what I'm talking about here. It's like intention is a beautiful thing, but intention is meaningless without the actions to back it. And actions require willpower and commitment and follow through. So, when it comes to our psychic powers and abilities, if you're thinking about all of this stuff and if you feel interested in it, there are exercises that you can do to practice remote viewing skills. There are all kinds of books, and you can learn about this stuff from all kinds of different angles. There are spiritual angles, there are witchy angles, there are new age angles, there are scientific angles, the remote viewing angle, the telepathic alien angle. These are all these different facets on this rotating gem, which is consciousness phenomena and the things that we are able to experience as consciousness. And when it comes down to it, you'd be surprised to find out that you are, in fact, psychic, intuitive, and have the ability to access data from the database that is reality. So I'm linking a bunch of different stuff below. One of the channels I'm going to link for you today is this really cool woman, I think. Her name is Sonia Choquette. And she is kind of in the realm of like self-help, you could say. But she's really grounded and down to earth and has some really, really cool books out there about intuition. And I think it's just like a really nice lighthearted approach and a really good way to dip your toes in the water. You can also practice with cards. For example, playing cards. I had a friend who used to be able to tell me what color any card was, red or black, red or black. And I was blown away by how good he was. But he's not like a millionaire from gambling or anything like that, because those abilities, they're not 100% consistent all of the time. And that is because most likely there are limits in the rule set, which is the system of reality itself. If it was in the best interest of this person to be able to use that skill in a casino, maybe that would be happening, but maybe that's not his life path this time around. And so the larger consciousness system says, like, sure, you can be psychic when you're in your room alone or in front of your friend where it's harmless, but it's not going to work for you every single time. I've been getting a lot of delight from watching these little videos on TikTok where people will do these remote viewing exercises or little psychic tests, and they'll have a card and they'll say what's on the card. I got a couple of them right recently, and sometimes I get them wrong, but they'll say like there's a shape and a color, and right away I saw a blue circle, and I just said it out loud, and then they turn it around and it was a blue circle. Another one was a card where they had an image hidden behind it, and the girl said like it's a crystal and try to think of like the color of it, and I just thought like purple crystal, and that's what it was, and it was an amethyst. So a lot of times with psychic perceptions, it'll be the first thing that pops into your mind, or not necessarily the first thing, because sometimes your mind offers up its own thought first and then the actual information comes in after, but you'll start to be able to tell the quality of the information and what it feels like for you when accurate information comes through. And that's what's fun about those little exercises. You can use them to sharpen your intuition, and then you're not probably going to want to go out there and try to just use it to like get what you want, but you might have really good luck if you just use it to get what you need. And if you say like whatever's best for me and for everyone, and then you kind of use that to frame the intuitive hits that you're getting, I think you'll have a lot more success if you try that early on. And that intuition could really save your life. It could be information about where to go and what to do, and um, just how to stay safe and who to be around and who not to be around. It could guide you into a new job. It could guide you into a positive relationship and all kinds of other things. So check out the links below. Thanks for listening to me ramble today. Next time we'll get back into a more researched episode, and I'll continue to try to up-level my tech in terms of audio and sound. But for now, if you liked any of this, please click the thumbs up. If you want more, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of when I post a video, and share something in the comments if you've had a psychic experience, if you have a really strong intuition, if you like thinking about these things. And I'll see you next time on Shocks Talks.